Hello and welcome to the BVB update for July 26th. I'm Stefan Butzko, and in this format I cover Borussia Dortmund news and other shenanigans of the day. And today we will once again start with more rumors about the striker position. Whether Sebastien Haller has to be replaced in the short term, we do not know since there is no diagnosis yet. However, Sport 1 today once again dropped a couple of names, so let's cover them briefly. And they write here that they have three main candidates, namely Edin Dzeko, Mauro Icardi and Edinson Cavani. But on Mauro Icardi, there was already a denial by French radio station RMC Sport, and they say that Borussia Dortmund, according to their information, are not interested in Mauro Icardi. So let's skip that and go back to the Sport 1 report, which is really just a summary of what they said on their podcast, Die Dortmund Woche. And it says that Edin Dzeko could imagine a return to the Bundesliga. Right now he's of course at Inter and has 1 year left on his contract. And the other name in question here is Edinson Cavani, who is of course well known as a Uruguayan striker, used to play for Manchester United, but now is a free agent. So should Borussia Dortmund really want him, maybe that makes things easier in terms of signing him. I don't know what his salary wishes are, so maybe there will be more reporting on that in the coming days, or hopefully there will be no reporting on it because Sebastien Haller will not be out for long. But that remains to be seen. And in general, they say that BVB want to have a box striker who can be fed with half-field crosses, who's strong in the air, who's robust, and just has a good holder play, I guess, is the key here. They were also mentioning that Dortmund sort of put on their sort of list, as they were spitballing, I guess, Krzysztof Piątek, who, in my opinion, looked relatively useless in a Hertha shirt, and Arkadiusz Milik, who I think has been linked with Dortmund before, right now player for Olympique Marseille. However, it also says that Dortmund are not really considering them as favorable or favored options. So, just stick a pin in this, I guess, and hopefully more in the coming days. And the next story is yet another interview published by Borussia Dortmund, and you can see Sebastian Kehl still in Bad Ragaz, but I think they've taped a couple, and there were interesting quotes. Basically, what Sebastian Kehl did there is sort of give his cliff notes on all the new signings he did. And let's start with Sebastien Haller. Quote, "The news was shocking. Happily, I can now say that the operation went extremely well and he's on the right track. But of course, that evening had an effect on us and we needed a bit of time to process it. Sebastien didn't freak out. He was incredibly positive and he said to the team, hey, do your job, give your all and make sure we're fully up and running when I'm back. And that's what the boys are going to do." And then he continued, "It's unfortunate that he's not with us from the get-go. He's a striker who brings physicality and that's what we wanted. We wanted various types of players up front. It wasn't very easy to find a number 9 because it's a small, limited market." And then he said the transfer fees involved are a lot bigger for a few other clubs, but I'm still very impressed that we were able to sign him because he simply knows where the goal is. He proved that last year, but also proved when he was at Frankfurt, and I look forward to seeing him back out on the training pitch. And then he continued about Alexander Meyer, where he said Alex Meyer made a really positive impression on us over the last 3 years in goal for Regensburg. He's a large keeper, or tall keeper rather. He's very confident, very composed, and an excellent with the ball at his feet. On top of that, he's a great guy who made clear as soon as we started talking to him that this is a huge step for him. And then of course Sebastian Kehl also talks about Niklas Süle here, where he said, quote, "He's a German international, he's the right age, he's a great guy and a strong center back. We had a few chats to find out if there was a chance to get him on a free transfer, and there was. The opportunity to sign a player of his caliber doesn't come along every day. When we spoke to him, he left us in no doubt that he was really up for it, that he wanted to take on a new role here at BVB and play his part in us continuing to be successful and perhaps being even more successful." And then he continued, "We expect him to use his many years of experience as an international, as someone who's won a few titles, to help us. We expect him to embrace his role, to take responsibility, and to give his team the defensive solidity we're looking for. Last year, we conceded a few too many goals, and part of his job is to change that. And quote. So yeah, and about Nico Schlotterbeck, Kehl said he's an incredibly talented player, and last year at Freiburg he was one of the leaders of their team. He also took a real step forward and became a German international. He's very mature and well developed as a person, and we felt that he was in our sweet spot. He's the right age and he shows real promise. Nico has so much potential and already has a huge amount to offer. And about Charlie Özcan, Kehl said, we felt he was a piece of the puzzle this team was missing. He knows what role he can play in our team, a specific role that we were looking for. So I think it's a perfect match, and hopefully in various ways he can give this team the spark that it really needs, which we were looking for when putting the squad together. And lastly, about Karim Adeyemi, he said signing him wasn't easy, even though convincing him was very easy, considering he described himself as a BVB fan previously, but negotiating with Salzburg to bring him here was tough. Salzburg have done a great job because they've developed him well, but ultimately I think he's in good hands with us. And then he describes his strengths, where he says he can play in various positions and in different systems. Adeyemi has played in the front two, up front on his own, but he can also play out wide. So whichever system Eden chooses, I think his speed, eye for goal and ability to get in behind the defense will make him a real threat and a real benefit for our squad. He has the element of surprise that we sometimes lacked last season. Phew. So yeah, a lot of quotes, so thanks for hanging in there. But now I have a special treat for you with the video that might actually make the Sports Central's not top 10 because yesterday BVB goalkeeper Luca Unbehaun had a bit of a whoopsie when he thought that the referee blew his whistle and he awarded a free kick, and so he throws the ball away for a free kick. But yeah, it's play on, so ball in net. Big whoops, but also very hilarious. Dortmund did tie against VfB Wiesbaden in their first game of the Dritte Liga. And yeah, I should also mention that the other goal was scored by Rodney Elongo-Yombo. And what is special about that is that his birthday is on the 27th tomorrow, where he turns 21. And also he only was eligible to play for Dortmund the previous day, so a very late signing to Dortmund's second team. He came from Greuther Fürth's second team, and yeah, that's all I have. Still a very funny moment there. I really enjoyed it when I watched the highlights. You should also check out the goal by Elongo-Yombo because yeah, it was a well taken one, but I don't know how much of that I can show here. So yeah, this little video I hope can stay with the video here on my channel. Anyway, as always, thank you for watching. Maybe let me know in the comments whether you'd rather have Edin Dzeko or Edinson Cavani as Sebastian Haller's replacement if need be. And yeah, otherwise we will be back with the Yellow Wall Pod episode tomorrow. So if you have any questions for Konstantin Eckner, Lars Pollmann or myself, drop them also in the comments. And yeah, another BVB update then on Thursday, also maybe with a bit of a preview of the cup game. We shall see. I've not exactly figured out yet how the coverage around match days will look like on the BVB update, since this started in the preseason. But anyway, before I waffle even more on, thank you again for watching and goodbye.